Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're gonna be reacting, debunking, discussing a viral thread on Twitter about from a user with Barty Tears on Twitter about mental illness is a choice. So he made a thread with his opinion. So before starting this video, I want to disclaim that I am not a psychiatrist, I am not any type of doctor, but I am someone who, funny enough, have suffered with all the mental illnesses that this individual have named, because he only named a handful when there's hundreds of them. And I am also bipolar. I've been diagnosed for 8 months already, and I'm on medication and other types of treatments to, alleviate my symptoms, as there is no cure for bipolar disorder as of now. So let's get into this video. Also, I will not be coming here giving a medical debunking. I'll be giving my honest experiences and opinion to this thread. So first, he says mental illness is a choice, a threat, okay? Then the first statement that he makes is, before we start, I just want to say, even if you get better, it will always be a battle with yourself. This just won't magically make it go away. Okay, child, starting with that statement, it's just like, yeah, it will never finish. And depending on the mental illness that you suffer, for example, me, I am a bipolar. There's no cure for my disorder. There's things like medication and activities, therapy you can do to alleviate the symptoms. But is there a cure for bipolar disorder? No. Is there a cure for a lot of mental disorders? No. He first discusses about depression, and he says, depression. You could seek help, get out of bed, go shower, go out, surround yourself with positive people. Instead, you stay in bed and don't go anywhere, or take care of yourself, which doesn't help. And I would like to add that yes, I think that in America or in other Western countries, sometimes I believe that depression is how could I say it? Overdiagnosed, because and there's a lot of studies when it comes to this, but to the people that actually suffer depression, and me being a bipolar, that majority, since I have bipolar type 2, majority of my bipolar disorder is being on depressive episodes, and they're longer and more severe. So basically, when he says you could seek help, get out of bed, go shower, and go surround yourself with positive people, that comes from a very, a very entitled, I won't say entitled, a very privileged viewpoint. Not everybody has the access to help. Not everybody has the economic means. Not everybody has the money to seek professional help. And this is the truth. Outside of America, a lot of people with mental illnesses don't get diagnosed because it's not talked a lot about in the culture. It's not as acceptable as it is in America, even though here is still taboo for a lot of people. This is extremely privileged. You're not gonna come here and tell me that going to shower will help my depression, child. I tried everything. Even now that I'm on medication, my depression sometimes just is a little bit higher than it should. But that just doesn't make sense. When I was depressed pre-medication last year, I did want to go out, I did want to shower, I did want to surround with people. Depression is a feeling you get. You feel like somebody is like, you feel like a goddamn piano is on your chest. You can't stand up. You just cry all day. You feel, and you have a lot of thoughts. You want to harm yourself. Every time that I had depressive episodes, I just was thinking of ways of how could I end my life. So taking a shower, child, do you think that would have helped me? I wish. I did took a lot of showers. That didn't help. I did try to surround myself with people, but sadly, since I come from a Hispanic background, mental illnesses are not talked enough in a lot of backgrounds. And I don't want to come here and say this race, but let's keep it real. Hispanics don't talk enough about mental illnesses. So the first time that I was approaching my family about my mental illnesses, there's this bad thing like, no, my son don't have this, and they actually thought that bipolar disorder is this thing that you're crazy, then you're not crazy, child. There's a lot of misconception, and saying that you can seek help and just go out and surround yourself with people will help your depression, it just doesn't. It's just very, I don't want to call it ignorant, but it's just very ignorant, especially when a lot of people end their lives only because they had depression. And the fact that he says that just staying on bed all day won't help, and that's true, it won't help, but won't be outside of bed. Yeah, there's things that you can do help with depression. Sunlight, activities, be surrounded by people, this actually helps. But as I said, on my case, that I get my depressive episodes, these things, I just don't want to do it. I just want to die. So honestly, that's extremely ignorant. For me to be able to accomplish to decrease my depression, I had to I am on meds for the rest of my life, maybe. I basically need to take therapy. I need to go to the gym. I need to do all these things that at one time I was not able to. I didn't have the economic means. I didn't have the family support. I didn't have friend support to do this. It took me around 2 years, wanted to kill myself to actually get the support, the economic means. And honestly, that's so entitled. Why do you think there's a lot of homeless people that... A lot of people think homeless people are just drug addicts and they're just lazy. No, a lot of these people actually suffer from mental disorders. They can't have a job, they're not stable, and since they don't have the means to seek professional help, they go to drugs. And honestly, that's extremely ignorant, and it's coming from a privileged place. Not everybody is on the same situation as you that can just go to a doctor. It's extremely expensive in a lot of countries, in a lot of areas. Let's talk about outside of America. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, and eating disorder. Let's hear what he has to say. You could start eating, start loving yourself, stop complaining yourself, get the fuck off Twitter, Ed, and try getting better. Talk to people instead of sit on things, both sides, and make yourself feel worse. Okay, if y'all do not know, I did suffer from bulimia since I was 11 years old until I was 18 years old. So I've been bulimic for 7 years of my life. First of all, there's a lot of misconception that the media seeing people being skinny affects mental disorders. In my opinion, it haven't. My eating disorder started since I was very young because of health issues I had. And okay, long story short, I didn't eat as a child because I didn't like food. Then I was extremely skinny, but I didn't have an eating disorder back then. And my dad was always in the doctor and my family to be a child. Then since they were feeding me so much, I went from underweight to overweight. Then I was a fat child when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. And again, my family, since they want me to stay healthy, they want to control what I eat. And it became to the point that I feel so frustrated that I want to take it upon myself. And yeah, honestly, I wanted to look a certain way. But the guy saying that we go to sites and that's a goal. I want to look like that. Yeah, I don't want to be unhealthy, but yeah, I was bulimic. I was going on extreme diets. And the funny thing about it is that if y'all know about the Eugenia Cooney situation, I might do a video about that later on. A lot of people don't understand when you have an eating disorder, you don't think you have one. You don't think you have one. For the first 5 years, I didn't think I had one. I really think what I was doing was not wrong. Starving myself, throwing up after I consume alcohol because alcohol makes me fat. I really didn't think I had anything wrong because I could see the results, and sometimes it's not your fault. So honestly, and honestly, it took me 7 years to get off it. Even now I struggle with my weight, but yeah, I will never go back. I sometimes have thoughts of starving myself. I'm not gonna deny that, but I've been around 2 years without any, practicing bulimia. So it took a long time, and it's not just mental. Actually, if y'all don't know, when you have bulimia or any eating disorder, you get these fat things, and I had one removed from my neck, and I have them in my body. There's a chance that I might be sterile, because when you are bulimic at such a young age, there's a chance that you might not be able to have biological children. Anyways, I have bipolar disorder, so as of now I decided to never have biological children. I'll do a video about that later on. But yeah, honestly, that's just very ignorant, and a lot of people don't know they have eating disorders, and telling somebody to eat and love yourself, that doesn't help. Eating disorder has a lot to do with food, but it has a lot to do with image and perception of oneself, and it really make my life miserable. And I honestly can't believe that you would say that to somebody. It's hard to go through, even if you know you have a mental disorder, like an eating disorder. It's just hard to accomplish, to succeed. And a lot of people that never had one think it's just as easy as eating. I was eating. A lot of bulimic people are fat and overweight, and y'all do not know. A lot of people think to have an eating disorder you have to be thin. No, you really need to be healthy, and that's what you should be, promoting, instead of telling people to love themselves. It's hard, and that I just don't know what to say to that. Okay, anxiety. Put yourself out there. Realize that no one cares enough to judge you or watch you. Everyone makes mistakes, but instead you blame yourself repeatedly for something that everyone does, and you hide yourself, which isn't helping a thing. Then you say, example, you're in a bad situation, you have one person saying to do it, and another saying not to do it. You have a choice. How is it any different with a mental illness? So one thing that I find is funny is that this guy thinks anxiety is only social anxiety. I think he refers to social anxiety. I do not suffer from social anxiety, but I actually talk a little bit about this on my coming out mental disorders video, but I was raped twice when I was underage. So when I am exposed to males being predatory towards me, I do get anxiety attacks because of that. It's like PTSD, but I do get anxiety because of that, because of the trauma that I suffer being raped twice, being of such a young age. So I don't think me putting myself out there will help. Sometimes I totally don't want to be around men. It really ruined my life. I barely have male friends. It's so hard for me to have male friends. I kind of have anxiety sometimes around men, and it really kind of ruined me making friendships with them. I mostly have female friends. It's extremely hard to me sometimes to communicate with men. And it's not social anxiety. I don't have social anxiety, but because of the trauma that I've suffered, I do get anxiety sometimes, especially when I'm put in situations where I feel it's gonna happen again. I just go in shock mode. I don't know what to do. I just want to escape. I start crying, and it's crazy, and it happened to me a few times. Men can be predatory sometimes, and it's nasty, and it's something that I wish I didn't have. It really affects the way I communicate with people, especially men. And no, putting me out there, child, is not gonna help at all. I just don't know what to say to that. It's not gonna help at all, like, child. Then he replied, after everybody started dragging his ass, I am getting a lot of mixed feedback from everyone, both positive and negative. So in order for me to tweet more purposeful threads in the future, please vote below if this thread enlightened you. Thanks. And he did like, how do you call it? So he made people vote whether this enlightened them or not, and most people say no, obviously. But honestly, to everybody that disagreed with this person, I don't encourage you to go and hate him and call him ignorant. This is what majority of the world think, and I know, and okay, sadly, I'm gonna say it, mental illnesses are trendy. They are making shows from it. They are romanticized and sweet. They are making mental illnesses trendy, so I understand where some people come from, where that's not a thing. I think this is an opportunity to teach people, and everybody that sees this video or saw the thread is an opportunity to teach somebody that. And he also named the trendy or the most famous mental disorders when there's many out there. Like, I'm bipolar, there's schizophrenia, there's PTSD, there is many other type of disorders that develop over time. There are disorders like gender dysphoria, which transgender people suffer from, and a lot of them don't have cures. There are ways to alleviate them. Some of them, I think they are overdiagnosed. I'm not gonna lie. The pharmaceutical industry is actually capitalizing of mental disorders, and sometimes they get over diagnosed. In my opinion, I think they're misdiagnosed. I just don't think it's good that well. I think we should have more conversations. And yeah, I think somebody that has never suffered from a mental disorder thankfully, and I wish he never does, because after going through what I've been going through, I will never wish upon my worst enemy, I will never wish any mental disorder that I have gone through, because at the end of the day, most of mental disorders end up in ending your own life, and we should totally try to avoid that. So what do y'all think about this video? Let me know y'all in the comment. I'll really appreciate if y'all subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.